The Carolina Rains have arrived as we are inside a soggy Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. From the 6. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
On second down now, it's Alexander. Calling a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Tannehill now to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. After last week's loss, you bet this offense probably wanted to come out with a little more fire than a 3 and out.
And I'm sure that people are saying, hey, come on, Coach, what was the pregame talk? Have these guys ready to go? But you and I both know it goes into preparation and practice and being ready to go. That gives you the confidence to come out and play. They've got to find that fast.
Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for them and shot for them. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Stop made there by Brian Asamoah.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
36 power.
Moore, the man in motion. Now Wilson down around his goal line. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Let's take it inside his own 40. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Hey, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On second down, it's Alexander. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Back to throw, Tannehill. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use it. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing is Wilson. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
On first down, Alexander. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the 1.
Right.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Alexander, and the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. He tried to get the nose of the football across to no avail, and now it's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
On third down, Alexander, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Wilson. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. On first down, Wilson. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. The Panthers at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. They're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, Wilson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line.
Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
Time right. Here we go, Tiger.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Alexander, and he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Up the middle they go. Alexander, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken at the 37. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Here's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. That quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
On on as the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on the calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Tannehill. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Tannehill. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. Needed 13, and with a good spot, they got 13 and a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
It's Alexander, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Play action. It's Wilson. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Finding space at the 40, and they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. That'll be taken in by Anderson. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
That's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brian Burns, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Panthers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So that, Charles, may be the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something? Because we're into the third quarter, and a 0 is still glowing on the scoreboard.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Touch 50.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go.
On 2nd and 1, Wilson flushed out right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. I know it appeared he was saying, hey, give me the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open.
True.
So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster for them.
Clock.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
2nd and 10 now, 3rd quarter from Charlotte. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the stick, 2nd and 15.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Tannehill. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Tannehill. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Bowman. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, who can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Here's Tannehill. Eluding the pressure right.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 2nd down now, it's Alexander. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Vikings.
But I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead is now 24. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game.
And now here is another interception.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. They'll send a receiver in motion left. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 18-yard line.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. Looking deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it.
And the Panthers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
And still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it.
And my goodness, another interception. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
On first down, Alexander. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Alexander. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They'll try and run for it. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed he did not. They stop him. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Panthers will get the football back. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And that 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the 4th quarter. Just haven't been it.
And now here is another interception.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Good gain there on first down and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now Tannehill on 3rd and goal.
And this ball is caught by Irv Smith. Touchdown, Vikings.
A great effort there.
His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And he returns this to the 22.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here this fourth quarter.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They go play action with Wilson.
That pass complete to Moore. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
From midfield now, here's Wilson.
And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
Throwing on second and long. Wilson.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Third and long. It's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On second down, it's Alexander, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop.
Right.
Play action. It's Tannehill. He's going to go for a big play downfield.
Tannehill intercepted again. And the Panthers will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
That is caught by Anderson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Play action. Now Wilson.
There's Tremble, the tight end. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. That'll be caught by Anderson.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Gonzalez out now to try the Panther field goal.
From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. Gonzalez's kick is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Let's go. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand.
Tannehill going to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory.
Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for Minnesota, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they dropped just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field.